I played the full version of Skull and Bones thanks to an early code from Ubisoft, and this really might be the worst full-priced Ubisoft game that I've ever played. Look, I'm more than happy if you like it, that's fantastic news, but for me, I only see busy work with no real fulfillment. This feels like a free-to-play title that they somehow spent the budget of a AAA game on, and we consumers have to pay for that. I overall don't like to make videos about games that I don't like. I want to focus on games that I'm passionate about and that I think are worth your time. But I know that many people were curious about my take, and it's a game that has been made out of the bones of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. So I wanted to share my impressions because really, if you like the more single player focused open world titles Ubisoft makes, then you should stay far away from Skull and Bones. Normally the first hour of a live service game is really about hooking you, showing what the game has to offer and why you should invest the tens of hundreds of hours into it. Skull and Bones throws you immediately into a battle, and sure, it's kinda cool to already toy around with a more powerful ship. It all looks pretty cinematic, but in terms of gameplay, you're really just shooting your cannons, and that's it. There's also no sense of impact, like you don't know if the enemy ship is close to being destroyed. It seems like they remain unharmed, and then all of a sudden they blow up. We're still supposed to lose this big battle though, but you survive and can then create your character. It's all very limited, you got some presets, just a few options for your hair and beard, and you have this body type option, but you only see your face, so you can't really see the full impact of the body type, which is just a strange choice. Now you can luckily still tweak and see this later on, but it's still far from ideal, and more on customization by the way later, because there's certainly more going on here. So after creating your character, you sail with a small boat to a nearby island, and literally the first mission you get from this pirate is to return to where you just sailed from and pick up loot in the sea by pressing a button. We saw this for example in Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well. It was just a small extra feature to get some loot, but in Skull and Bones it's an actual quest objective, like the first thing you have to do. And then after looting these firearms and the rum, you go back to the pirate, you just like give it to him through the menu, there's nothing like exciting going on here, and now you have to check out a shipwreck. So here we can walk around and explore a bit in third person, but don't get too excited as these sections really reminded me of the Discovery Tour from the Assassin's Creed games. In this mode you could of course explore the world of the particular Assassin's Creed title without any combat. So just walk around at your own pace, check things in the environment, learn a bit about the setting and the people that lived during that time. Well, these on-foot sections in Skull and Bones feel like this as well. So in that shipwreck I could grab a collectible, fire some cannons at random explosives that were just there for whatever reason. They would respawn as well, so I don't know what the point of this was. And a sort of climax from the shipwreck moment, the ending of the tutorial, is that your character, who does not talk by the way, goes into the captain's cabin, picks up a spyglass, also sees a ladder, so is now going to pretend to be the captain from this ship. And that's kinda how you get started. Now in the regular map, after leaving the tutorial, you can also choose to disembark at different locations. And there is also really nothing going on here. So there are a few vendors that you can interact with, but it's overall just a bunch of NPCs stuck in one location, doing the same animation over and over. It really feels as if you are exploring a pirate section in a theme park instead of being in this living world. I could also use a rope to go down, but there was really nothing to do here either. Only look at the pretty environment. Again, it's really similar to the Discovery Tour. Your character can't even swim, and the animation in particular is kinda crazy, as if your captain that should become the most feared pirate in the Indian Ocean is afraid of water. And my character with the school outfit also has 3 guns on him, but they are just for show, like you cannot use them. One of the main reasons to go explore on foot is to find a treasure. So first you need to find a map that will point you in the direction of an outpost, sail there. But in this example, they put the red cross over here on the map. So I was looking there, but could not find the chest. So I was just running around this island like a crazy person. And then finally, after like 10 minutes, I found the treasure. And it was not where the red cross was. Like, I don't think this is how the treasure maps are supposed to work, right? And overall, just running around like a headless chicken on these islands looking for the treasure, it's not exciting at all. Now, of course, Ubisoft has been very clear that this game is 90% sailing with your boat, but it doesn't change the fact that you are paying full price for a pirate game that includes less than half of the true pirate fantasy. And even if you accept the game for what it is, I think it still leaves much to be desired. Like the first few hours, all you're doing is picking up a quest at the Saint Anne outpost, Set sail to a marker on your map to, for example, harvest something or take out a ship. Then go all the way back to the outpost, which like 2,000 meters. Talk to an NPC. Set sail again to another marker, which like 2,000 meters away. Return to the outpost again. It's the same thing over and over. And I think it's crazy that Suicide Squad got a ton of hate, while that game includes a pretty solid 10-hour campaign with some of the most visually impressive cutscenes in recent memory. Like, there's nothing like that in Skull and Bones. No interesting story that keeps you wondering what will happen next. You're constantly talking to these stereotypical pirates about glory and plundering, while they themselves never leave their spot and just order you around. This might be a new gen only game, but you very clearly see that they started this as an early generation PS4 title. The character models look really bad with hair glued to their heads. Most of them are just glorified vendors that shout the same one-liners over and over again. Now luckily the game does open up as you keep playing. There will be multiple contracts from different NPCs and bounty boards you can pick up. So you have way more stuff to do while sailing the sea and don't have to return to the outpost as often. So the objectives mostly include getting special resources by going to a particular point on the map or taking out particular ships or boarding them, which is the same cutscene over and over by the way, with a big loot-like UI blocking the final scene of that cutscene. There are these trade routes where you have to intercept merchants to get their goods, but there are also nearby guard ships, so the moment you open fire, they will go and attack you as well. There's this sort of GTA-style wanted system when you attack otherwise neutral targets, and these are totally the best moments when you suddenly have multiple ships chase you and you can then decide to stay or quickly leave. There are also these settlements that you can trade with, or you can also plunder to get these items for free. And plundering means that you see a cutscene of your ship crew entering the settlement to go and fight there, I guess, while you stay on your ship and then fight off incoming enemy ships. And the longer you do this, the better the loot, so it's kind of a horde mode. And sometimes other players can join you as well, so then you're plundering together. There are also these co-op encounters against more powerful ships. We've seen these ships in the previous Assassin's Creed games, of course, as well, but now it's pretty awesome to see already another player attacking that ship, and then you can choose to go help them out and then succeed together. These social elements totally work in the game's favor, that you see like other players sail around as well. That totally makes the game feel more alive, while the robot NPCs totally do the complete opposite. But again, what I'm describing is the bare minimum of what you can expect in an online game like this. Free-to-play titles do this as well, yet Skull and Bones is full price, and you're also constantly reminded of the microtransactions. And I really hope this is not a trend in Ubisoft games moving forward. So for one, it's already annoying that you cannot change the look of your character via the menu, but have to go to the outfit shop. That, by the way, has this weird camera glitch when you enter, but oh well. So here you can equip outfit pieces you've unlocked from missions, or you can buy brand new ones for silver, the regular in-game currency. But also in this menu you can see microtransaction outfits that obviously look better than the regular in-game stuff. So there is a dedicated store page as well that we see in other Ubisoft games, but now these items also appear in the in-game vendors when just talking to NPCs. Also when browsing through cool cosmetics for your ship, you see the items that you have to pay real money for. Like imagine if every merchant in Assassin's Creed Valhalla also showed the Helix store items. These things have to remain separate, but they're now invading the real game as well. And I just can't help but feel that Ubisoft is trying to make us pay for the years of mismanagement that this project has. Like maybe you saw the news about the Ubisoft CEO calling Skull and Bones a quadruple A game, and that's because they spent $200 million on it, not because the actual package really reflects that. Sure, the sea shanties are nice, but they were also in Black Flag, and that game had way more to offer 11 years ago. Again, I'm happy for people that find enjoyment here, and I can see the excitement a bit when switching different weapons on your ship. It really changed the way you play. The naval combat feels fine as well, but again, that was also the case already in Black Flag and Odyssey. I sometimes say you should wait for a sale or wait for the game to appear on Game Pass or PlayStation Plus. But really for Skull and Bones, I don't think it's worth your time, let alone your money. It's again for me the worst Ubisoft game that I've played in recent memory for full price. And even if you like these types of games more than I do, I just struggle to see why this is worth $60. Again, I'm happy if you enjoyed it, but when I was like trying to get a new ship and just had to go to multiple locations to do this timed mini game and then return to get the ship, I was done. I uninstalled it. It can at least look pretty, and it only made me more excited for the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag remake that this team is seemingly doing next. When we know more about that, I'll of course let you know here, so be sure you are subscribed. A like on the video would really help me out, and if you want to see my stream with raw gameplay, they can watch it by clicking on the screen. And I'm rarely bored playing a game during the stream. Like, I liked talking with the chat, but just not playing the game. So Skull and Bones, sadly, it's really not great. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.